listening to a 3MG.
Tell the enemies don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearless the most high. Got no screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life. And everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with. Sheesh. Look who I'm standing with.
Okay. You can't scare me, I'm a stone cold believer. I'm searching for the throne, call me golden retriever. Pouring living water down on the damned, I'm a beaver. Got the enemy running like the 7 sons of Sceva. So what can you scare me with? When my spirit is a full-blood pit, or you done been got bit. Tell the DJ to run this hit. Watch Asharala have a true praise fit. Got us hollering out, not today, Satan, and not tomorrow. The last is gonna be first and we'll in and never borrow. Get led into the kingdom where we shedding all the sorrow. Yeah, you know my brother, but you about to learn about me hollow, That's word of Christ, the Hamashiach. And to the Father that can send them, we just waiting for the mic to drop. No weapon form you cannot kill me with. Don't know who you think you scaring, you must don't see who I'm standing with.
Scare me with. Look who I'm standing with. Tell the enemies just don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearless the most high. Got no screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life. And everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with.
What can you scare me with?
Look who I'm standing with.
You can't scare me with nothing, cause you's a nothing. And nothing does nothing, so it must be something about me. Why you tryna dig a ditch 6 feet deep? Dead to the world, now these bones don't sleep. Sitting at the table where these bones gon' be. Feel it in your heart, no disciple can preach. Standing shoulder to shoulder, how far is your reach? Yeah, how sharp is your teeth? It's obvious that they don't know nothing about me. Gotta backtrack so they don't think I'm frontin'. Got the daily bread, trying to take it to the luncheon. Showing up hollow so they can call me pumpkin. What is you eating? Is it greed or fear? American dream is more like a nightmare. The honey be sweet if they can keep you unaware, but he don't put nothing on us that we can't bear.
Don't scare me with. No, I won't be defeated. Look who I'm standing with. Look who I'm standing with. Tell the enemies just don't try. You can't scare me and that's no lie. I'm fearless the most high. Got me screaming all night. Holy Spirit God in my life. And everything I do is in Christ. You don't scare me with. You don't scare me with. I got you. Look who I'm standing with.
We hear you come with all that whoop-de-whoop. If God is for us, brother, who is you? You better give the clue. We worship him in spirit and in truth. So all you lessons, we ain't scared of you.
Promise you don't want that
We
smoke.
hear you come with all that whoop-de-whoop. If God is for us, brother, who is you? You better give the clue. We worship him in spirit and in truth. So all you lessons, we ain't scared of you. That's right.
No weapon formed. There's no weapon formed. No, no. Against us. As long as we stay together, yeah, shall prosper. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. No weapon formed. We won't be defeated, Lord. Against us. As long as we stay together, yeah, shall prosper. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. Look who we're standing with. So who you gon' scare me with?
All the pain, every tear, and all the trials. Bro, that weeping gonna end after a while, and we all gon' smile. We all gon' smile. When the waves of this world beat you down, ain't nobody calling foul. Just remember that we all gon' smile. It's a God that sit high and look low. Everything he gon' restore. We got just remember that we all gon' smile. Yeah. And finally, yeah, we'll be leading in the scope. Okay. Never suffer anymore. I can't wait to look at all them smiles. First of all, shalom, I'm here to let you know that you are not alone, I know it's looking like the devil in the zone, I'm fighting back, but like he Mayweather roll, Sheesh, I know it's bound to take a toll. You trying hard to keep control and never compromise your soul. We know the kingdom is the goal, the day and hour no one knows. But I pray it's getting close, it's getting harder for us folks. I know so many living righteous, trying to walk the narrow path. but their kids at home is hungry, trying not to grab a slab. They try not to cook the coke and not go cranking up the lab. So many don't know how to cope, they roll the weed up with the dab. They trying not to grab the steel and trying not to rob and steal. They trying not to lose their faith, so screaming Jesus grab the wheel. Trust me, I know how I feel, but told my problems not today. Call on Jehovah Jireh, bet my God provide a way. Cause all the pain, every tear, and all the trials, brother, we've been gonna end after a while, and we all gonna smile. When the ways of this world beat you down, ain't nobody calling foul. Just remember that we all gon' smile. It's a God that sit high and look low. Everything he gon' restore. Just remember that we all gon' smile. And finally, yeah, we'll be leading in the soul. Never suffer anymore. I can't wait to look at all them smiles. First of all, shalom, sis. I know it's hard out here, you're feeling all alone, sis. You got them kids at home, but baby daddy gone, sis. You trying to do your best, but really on your own, sis. Sheesh, I know it's really getting tough. Trying to stretch out every dollar, but it really ain't enough. Trying to get a stable home, but you don't know who you can trust. You keep trying to search for love, but yet they only come with lust. Not trying to run back to the pole, to bust it open, not your goal. Crying out, dear Father God, can you please come make me whole? You is different, let them know you tricked me once, but never more. Tell them make you an honest woman if they wanna get the show. I know your heart has been broken and shattered in tiny pieces. The Bible, it can repair you, and that is my final thesis. Yeah, it's hard, but it'll get better after a while. Endure to the end, and guess what? We all gon' smile. All the pain, every tear, and all the trials, brother, we been gonna end after a while, and we all gon' smile. When the ways of this world beat you down, ain't nobody calling foul. Just remember that we all gon' smile. It's a God that sit high and look low. Everything he gon' restore. Just remember that we all gon' smile. And finally, yeah, we'll be leading in the soul. Never suffer anymore. I can't wait to look at all them smiles.
Yeah.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, everybody.
How everybody doing? Yo, Ben Yahoo, how are you, my man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm blessed, brother. Glad to be here. We was, scrambling to get this show together, man. Hey, the Most High is good.
Yes, he is. Yes.
Want to send out an apology to the family. This was supposed to be the night that the Ock Run Dalton was supposed to be here. Life happened. That's what happened. Yeah, we had some miscommunication with his camp and with ours. We got all of that worked out. As far as I know, he's still going to come to the show. It's just going to be a little later. We had to push that back, and then we had to get ready for a regular show. I believe that the Most High blessed us with some great information to bring as well. So, that being said, when you're dealing with somebody like Ron Dalton, that's to be expected as well. Because every time I'm on YouTube, I see that brother is getting pulled. He's on another interview with somebody else. And he got a lot to talk about, and I'm sure everybody wants to talk to him. And so, truth be told, Flex Podcast, we just feel blessed that we were even in a conversation of being able to talk to a brother like Ron Dalton.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So, but but with that being said, last night, man, that was an instant classic. It really was,
man. And then the after party was an instant classic too, man.
The after party was lit. I almost feel bad that the Truth Be Told Flex Podcast family was not a part of that.
Man, that's where it went down. Like Jamil talking about, I said it went down.
It went down, exactly.
We chopped it up with the Ock, but hour or two, man.
Had to be close. It was a little over an hour. It was a little over an hour, man. Yeah, and I don't even think you were ready to go.
Nah, he was. Nah.
He was still going.
I know Shaka Boom and your wife is in the chat. But I know they both might have been like, even Miss Mono was probably like, all right, Mono, come on. Y'all
Right, right, right,
we gonna,
right.
baby, you gotta come on and eat. That's what my wife was like, baby, you gonna eat? I'm like, okay, y'all, I got a jet. But yeah, man, whenever the Ark is on, bro, like, I mean, it just sums it up. Let the OG talk. And that's why last night, Ark, show flow, tell the youngsters, tell the people what's on your heart. And he did, man. He just poured out and just dropped gems as he always does. And then the after party, us three, we just got together and just chopped it up like we did at the Drip and Sip.
Exactly.
Like we always do.
Exactly.
So the Most High most definitely has plans moving forward. And, you know, y'all just keep, you know, the Truth Be Told Flex podcast family, keep, you know, us two and our families and Mono, the House of Mono and 3MG, you know, Brew News, you know, just keep the families in your prayer that we are ready to take this thing to the level that the Most High wants us, man. And that's, you know, we just humble servants and just, you know, but the Most High most definitely he's got some things, you know, going on. So
he does.
Yeah,
he really does. And you know, I can't say it enough that the Most High bless Truth Be Told Flex podcast with a great addition with Ayob and Yahoo. And I was just telling them just yesterday, we was texting, we was talking about the show and where it's going. I was like, brother, couldn't have done it without you, you know.
Man.
And so, you know, where what we're looking at and what it is that we're looking to do, it is going to be grand. It's going to take a lot of work.
Yep.
And but I don't believe that it's anything that we can't handle.
Right.
We still on that push for 500 subs before the end of the year. If I gotta add another video to this segment, to this show, I do that because it seemed like people coming in a little slower. That was the reason why I did the 2 videos. To let everybody come in and fill up, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but yeah, we just need everybody, you know, like Shaka Boom said, you know, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. In the words of my wife, it's free 99. You have no free 99 exactly. Yep, there it is. Yeah, they free 99 exactly. You know, you have no idea what that does for the algorithm. And for a show like this, we gotta force our way in the algorithm.
Yeah. Cause we in there, but I believe that, you know, the powers that be in the algorithm world and the platform is holding us back.
They're holding us back. Exactly.
You know, we both had people to tell us, like, man, I believe y'all numbers are a lot higher than they are. But, you know, like Shur said, what would trigger us defeating that is the more you hit the like, the more you share it, the more you comment, as you guys do, and spread the word. You know, it'll trigger the algorithm, and we'll most definitely break the matrix. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Can you hear me out?
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Everything froze, but as long as I can hear, I don't care about it freezing. As long as I'm hearing on time and you can hear me, I can deal with the freezing. I'm looking at me. I'm running behind. I'm behind schedule, but that's cool.
Yeah.
As long as the audio is tight, I'm being heard. Yeah, and I can hear you on time. We good. So yeah, man. This enough of us talking and running our mouth. Monologue was great last night. I'm sure that is not the last that he is going to be seen. Man, Monologue had some thoughts for the show as well last night. So
man.
So you know, you know, it's whatever. Like I told, like, yo, man, I don't believe that the Most High is gonna, you know, put too much on us. So we gonna do what we can do. And we just gonna make this thing work. But let's get down to business. Let's get to business. Before we get to the critical race theory, ex-leader of the Proud Boys, he was sentenced to 22 years in the January the 6th edition case, man. 22 years. The prison term for Enrique Torreiro. I meant to ask my wife how to pronounce that man's last name before I got on here, but it don't matter. He got 22 years. I'm sure mispronouncing his last name is the last of his worries right now, right? But that was the most severe penalty handed down so far to any of the more than, check this number out, 1,100 people charged in connection with the Capitol attack. That is the most time.
That's crazy, man.
That is the most. Thank you, baby. That is the most time that they handed down. What's your thoughts on that? Thank you, baby.
Now, from what I understand, um, Enrique T- Terrio, I think
Right.
that's his Terrio or Terrario. He is of Latin descent,
Tederio. They probably got to
and
roll something in there. It's two
right,
R's. Tederio. Yeah.
yeah. So uh, he most definitely got the raw deal. And when I say that, what I mean is, like we were saying, after all the stuff that's been handed down, he got the highest. Um, and I'm trying to look for it right now, and I can't find it, but he got the highest sentence, 22 years in the January 6th. I've
Capitol
seen
Hill's tradition
Capitol
case.
Hills. Yeah, I've seen, and he is the so-called leader of the Proud Boys, and but I've seen the Proud Boys. I've seen 18 months. I've seen 12 months. I've seen 3 years, but 22. So
$22.
my thoughts on it is it just goes to show you when he got it seemed like he got his Negro wake up call, or so-called Negro wake up call.
And I'm confused about the Proud Boys. Ayob, is the Proud Boys, is this a, what type of group is this?
This
My
is
understanding is would it be considered a white supremacist group?
Yes, it would be. A lot of people consider it a white supremacist group, but um, they detail it on the website. It says the Proud Boys is an exclusively male North American far right neo fascist militant organization that promotes and engages in political violence. The group's leaders have been convicted of violently opposing the U.S. government, including the constitutionally prescribed transfer of presidential power. So, you know, I don't think I would necessarily say white supremacist. I may say white nationalist.
Okay, I could rock
Okay,
with that.
to be
There is a
fair and
difference.
balanced, there is a difference. They don't necessarily push proud and white, but they push
Nationalism.
nationalism. We built this country off of this. This is
Right.
our land. This is our country. This is our principles. We look at the Constitution a certain way. We're not politicians. That's kind of how the nationalists view. Now there are some pockets of the nationalists that do resort to the kind of supremacy per se aspect of it. And when we say far right, that's what it means. It's like a
Right.
like a new age far
Right.
right kind of nationalist, white only kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think the Proud Boys was that. What I think their purpose was on January 6th was to truly go and say, okay, if we're going to do this, then we need to be a voice for the people from the presidential power exchanging and the police force putting force on the people that's unwarranted.
Right.
I truly think that was, but once again, everybody in giving that definition and saying all that, everybody on that Proud Boy is not. I don't think they're on one accord. I think there are some on there that is far right white supremacy.
Okay. So I'm,
So
how I feel about it, is that they are concocted. That's what I feel. I feel that they are concocted. They insurgents to me. Right. Proud Boys. They are newly formed. I don't care if you go and Google the history of them and when they was formed. No, we just started hearing about the Proud Boys not long ago.
right.
I love our audience because they're well educated. Two
Yeah, to be
people
honest.
said something. Two people said something that I was going to make a point on. That's multiverse gaming and Yamay. Yamay said, so out of all those raw chickens, they let someone with a Latin name take the fall with 22 years.
That's-
I want
right.
to deal with that. And then
Right, that's-
multiverse gaming said it don't take all them words to describe a white group. That's exactly how I felt about it as well. It don't take all of those words to
Oh, sorry.
describe them, right? When you
Right.
using all of those words like that,
Right.
so I'm gonna go back. I asked the question: are they a white supremacist group? Well, to be white nationalists, there is a difference, but at the same time, they still all the same. It's just like left and a right wing. Two
Right.
wings,
Two
they
wings
stay
on the
still on
same
the
bird.
same bird, right?
That's
So
it.
you might not want to call them, or they might not identify themselves as a white supremacist racist group. But if you are a white nationalist, because you got to understand what has the nation done for us as
That's
black
it.
and brown people,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So if you supporting the nation and you call yourself a nationalist, but when you get down to the thick and the marrow of the bones about it, then it's racist. Whether you feel to yourself is racist or not, it is racist. Now, the second thing is that it leads me to ask if you gave Enrique Terrio all of that time, why are you still messing with Trump? Now, let me throw this out here, okay? I'm not a Trump supporter. I might need to get a shirt and put that Sister Q, make me a shirt with fringes say I'm not a Trump supporter. Right? Yeah, I might need
fringes
that.
on it.
With fringes on it, you know.
Fringes.
But how are you still, because see the whole thing of January the 6th is that they calling Trump the spearhead for this.
Right,
They
that's
saying
right.
that right. So if he's the spearhead, how are you calling Enrique Tarrio the leader of the Proud Boys? And they was the main ones that was supposed to have been there. You got 1,100 people charged in connection of it. Who 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 was the real one inciting the riot? It seemed like to me you just gave the inciter of the riot 22 years. Burnett Shalahaya said he wasn't even there that day. Well, if I'm a general, what do generals do? They sit back.
Right. And that's what they're trying to say. He was, that he allegedly was doing something else. At a, ripping down the Black Lives Matter banner. That the mainstream media ran with that. Because they wanted to make it seem like, okay, he wasn't there, but like the general, the lieutenant, first, second colonel, first, second lieutenant colonel, major, general, they don't be on the battlefield unless it's absolutely
Necessary.
totally like necessary.
Right.
They are behind the scenes on CB, on the two-way radio, giving orders, giving directions, giving the next step, strategizing. So that's what they're trying to say, cause, bruh, like you say, out of all the Rochick 22 years, out of everybody, he got. I think that's
he got
the
22
call.
right.
He got 22
Exactly.
years.
And so that also means that Trump might need to be a little nervous about this.
Yes, if I was Donald Trump, we talked about this earlier before the show. It might be time to be a little worried, and I think the feeling in Washington now is just that, because like we was talking before, real quick, Mike Huckabee was saying that if Trump don't, because as of today, they did an update. They're trying to bar him from running at all. That's the news that's kind of floating out as of last night, this morning. They also are saying they're going to let him run. And then, like we've said on this show, I don't know how many times, if he loses this election from a legal issue, boy, you think January 6th is going to
right.
be. And
Everywhere.
Mike Huckabee said that.
Right.
Mike Huckabee said today that 2024, if Trump loses or can't run because of a legal issue, 2024 will be the last election with ballots, and it's going to be the first election to start with bullets. Exactly. That's not my words. I didn't say that. Mike Huckabee said that. But we've been saying this on this show.
He would know
time.
Because he's a part of those people.
He's in that stratosphere.
He's in that stratosphere. So he's at liberty to talk to people that we would never be able to talk to. And the thing is that if people can't see that all of this, I use this word so much, and this is the only word, that fit the description. If people can't see that all of this has been fabricated to come down to this particular point, something is wrong with you.
Right.
Because you got to look at a nation like America. Right. You got checks and balances to keep things in order. Right. So when things go chaotic, that's because you are allowing them to go chaotic.
Right. Absolutely.
You are allowing them to go chaotic.
Yep.
And so, when it comes to Donald Trump, there are so many different reasons as to why the people who for real run this place don't want him in office. We got a litany of reasons. One being that he wasn't playing the political games
Right.
that the politicians play. He was the first one that really got up there and told people what was really going on in Washington, the
Yep.
BS that they was doing in Washington. You know what I'm saying? And so, he was the first one who can look them in the eye and be like, look, all of this stuff that y'all doing is BS. Again, make me that shirt. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm just going by, you know what I'm saying? I'm not supporting the brother. I'm just telling you.
Telling facts.
Just telling facts, right?
Facts.
And so there's a litany of reasons as to why they would go to the extreme as to have this brother not in the White House. But all of this that we going on, what Mike Huckabee said is facts.
Yeah,
if this dude loses on legal technicalities,
listen,
these white people are going to lose their mind. They're going They're going to exercise every Second Amendment right that they have.
Right.
And who is going to be the recipient of their anger? We are. As if it was us who caused it.
Right. We're going to be recipients, and we've talked about that before as well. Because you got to understand what's happening now. The new charges that he's playing not guilty. You remember? I can't remember. It was episode 99 where we actually showed the court docket for the arraignment for him for the classified or unclassified files. That's old. That's still pending. Now, what the big thing is this whole election fraud for Georgia. And it's another on his staff. The only person that didn't get bail for all this Georgia election turnover fraud stuff is a brother that was on his staff. He did not get bail. He is still in jail right now.
Wow.
Everybody
for what
else,
reason?
It's not
Did
even.
They give him bail, or he just couldn't make bail?
No, he has no bail. They did not.
He got no bail.
He got no bail. When we go to music break, I'm gonna have to look his name up so y'all can
look into that. I can bring that back because I'm curious. I want to know why.
I have to look it up. But yeah, man, it's y'all. We've been.
And a white boy asked me, and this is for another conversation, but a white boy asked me yesterday what I think about Black Lives Matter. And I really can't get into how I got into him when he asked that because it'd take too long. But that's the reason why right there, man. Even in the midst of this kind of foolishness, out of all of them people, you telling me the brother is the only one? That's like watching a horror movie and there's one black person in the movie and you already know 5 minutes after credits they finna die.
Right. Absolutely. You already know.
you already know. 5 minutes after the opening credits, you already know. The only reason you casted the black person to be the one to die first. That's the whole reason.
That's the whole reason. Harrison Floyd. Let me do this. Let me real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you good, brother.
Okay, here we go right here. There he is. Harrison Floyd, the former leader of Black Voices for Trump, was booked Thursday. He was denied bond on Friday and remains in jail. You see it right there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that and find out why.
All these folks, look at that. Everybody
all
else
them
made
raw
bail.
chickens.
Everybody made bail. Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Gina Ellis. These are all the people on his staff.
These are powerful people,
powerful people, y'all. Then out of everybody, this dude right here, Harrison Floyd, he ain't got no separate. Look, I'm scrolling. He on the same list as
what kind of case he got? Do he got the same? He got the same charges as everybody else?
He got 3 counts. 1 violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 1 of influencing witnesses, 1 of conspiracy to commit solicitation of false statements and writings.
Okay, so what's the one above him? What's his charge? And the one below him?
Scott Hall. 7 counts. 2 of conspiracy to commit election fraud, 1 of violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 1 of conspiracy to commit computer theft, 1 of conspiracy to commit computer trespass, one of conspiracy to defraud the state, and one of conspiracy to commit computer invasion of privacy. And look, the 2020 Fulton County GOP poll watcher was booked Tuesday and released on what? $10,000 a month. So all he had to have was $1,000.
What's the dude up under him?
Jeffrey Clark, the former Trump Justice Department official, was booked early Friday and released on a $100,000 bond. He got 2 counts: one of violation of the Georgia RICO Act and one of criminal attempt to commit false statements.
So he got $100,000 bond, only got 2 charges. The one above Ford got 7, which seems like a hell of a lot more than what this dude, and he only had a $10,000. And then you got the brother in the middle of them
Floyd
that don't have. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's why I wanted to share that. Ain't that something, man? Y'all see what we go. And look, here's a caveat. The campaigns, the first debate was what, last Tuesday? The campaigns are just at the beginning stages of it. And Trump has outraised donations. He's outraised everybody in campaign money already.
I'm going to tell you like this. Trump had a reason to be mad about that election. Anybody that can see know that they stole it from him.
Georgia ain't never been flipped from Rick.
And nobody likes anything stolen from him, especially somebody who is as privileged and as spoiled as Donald Trump. You know, he know that it was stolen from him, right? And so, do we have a right to act out? He does. And they know, this is what they know as well, is that if they don't mess with him, they can't stop him from winning again in 24. Right. And so they doing everything that they can to offset that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, but yeah, man. So we got to, in the words of Howard Cosell, be looking for pandemonium in the streets if he don't make it into the office, especially if it's from legal technicalities. Before we get to the Beyond Critical Race Theory, man, Texas passed 774 laws that went into effect just 5 days ago. I'm gonna say this, and hopefully it don't go over people's head. All of these laws that they be passing, they don't be laws, people. They call them laws, but they don't. They just statutes. Okay, they statutes and laws are 2 different things. These are statutes that they create. They call them laws. We accept them as laws, and if we break them because we are a part of the system, under the jurisdiction of the system, they charge us for them. That's why they say charges. Listen to the language. Right. You know what I'm saying? They charge you for them. So every criminal case is commercial, meaning there's money behind it, you know. And so all they doing is, we talk about it all the time. The United States is a for-profit corporation. So what they did was they passed 774 different ways to make a profit off of people. But this one here was interesting, though, Ayo. Yeah. This is the LGBTQ issues. Yeah. And in this one here, I want you to listen to the language of this. It says, this was the law. Drag shows, sexually explicit performances, sexual-oriented performances in front of minors will become a criminal offense under SB 12, right? It says the law bans real or simulated groping, real or simulated arousal and display of a sex toy if done in a prurient manner in front of a minor or on public property. Drug artists filed a lawsuit to block the law on August 2nd. Because they feared drag performances would be targeted by this legislation, vague wording. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, which is Republican, signed the bill on August the 18th. Now, it goes on to say this. Drag artists and LGBTQ plus advocates sued to block Texas law expanding ban on sexual performances. This here to me was a win for Texas out of all of the laws.
Yep.
when you read this law, and I could be missing something because we're going to double back, okay? But when you read this law, this was a law that was passed to protect the kids.
Right.
You got that too? Is that the sense that you got from that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's protect the kids, but they're gonna so y'all catch once again, like Sheer just said, he says something profound every time we mention this. Listen at the language, how they write this. Y'all hear it referred to them as what? Drag artists.
Right.
This is a legal way. It's almost like strategizing for football teams. You're not gonna. It's to make the game interesting. May the best man win. Both coaches, a week or two or a month before the teams play, they do what? They exchange film.
That's right.
So both teams can look at film on each other.
Get familiar with each other.
Get familiar and give the best shot. So what this drag artistry is saying, now their lawyers are going to sue the state of Texas and Governor Abbott and say, we're artists. So what they're targeting is state of Texas, Governor Abbott say, no, we protecting the kids. They're going to say, no, you're taking my rights away from a parade. When we have our parade, you mean to tell me I can't dance as an artist? And the state prosecutors would be like, well, you can, just don't grope yourself or have toys out.
Right.
No, you're taking my rights away. Y'all see where I'm going? See how this thing about to get? So like Sheer said, we're protecting the kids. It's protecting the kids. But the terms they use, because it's not a law, it's a statute. And the state is gonna lose and make money back. And
right.
Guess who's gonna be footing the bill?
Right. Exactly.
Sheer lives in Texas. His family lives in Texas. He knows. So you see how it's almost like it's changing. Now, once again, because they fear drag performances will be targeted by this legislation, vague wording. It's right there. It's right there in the actual statute. What's going on? So yeah, I get that sense. I agree with you, Con. They're protecting the kids, but I think the wording is so many legal stuff, so many layers to this stuff that now they as of when did this come out? Last Friday.
Yeah, last Friday. Yeah.
So it ain't even been a full week yet. They already lawyering up.
They lawyered up. And this goes to show you too how sick people is, right? This goes to show you the insanity. We live in a world for real where we are advocating mental insanity. Right. We making mental insanity normal. We are advocating it as if it is normal, right? Because this law says, I'm going to read this one more again. Yeah, it says the law bans real or simulated groping, real or simulated arousing, and display of a sex toy if done in a prurient manner in front of a minor or on public property. Now, not just the kids, but also when it says are on public property, that protects me as well. Right. Because I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see
exactly.
That.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That protects me as well, right? And this goes to show you how mentally insane people are, right, because you are now fit to litigate this and sue Texas for a law that is to protect the kids, because this is what they said. They said they are arguing it is meant to target drag shows. No. Nowhere in that law that even gives you the thought that is targeting drag shows.
Right. It's not targeting a drag show. It's protecting kids. That's different. That's like saying we want to run a touchdown by throwing a pass, but we drew up to play to run the football. Right. You're getting a touchdown, but you're trying to skew the words to make it look like what it's not.
And like my man said, the wordplay that they're going to use when they litigate it, they went on as far as to say and could also criminalize ballet and cheerleading. Are you kidding me? Right. How are you going to bring ballet and cheerleading into this argument? How? Because of the wordplay. That's how you're going to be able to do it.
That's how you're going to do it.
Because of the word. And all of us have seen the fashion in which those drag parades be going. Oh, and this is my idea, man. With all of the cameras that they got, and you can see everything that happens out in the street, if they was for real about protecting the kid, every parent that took a child to those daggum LGBTQ parade, rainbow parades and stuff like that, all of them jokers should be having a knock at the door from Child
Right.
Protective Services.
Exactly.
Because those parades are filthy.
Filthy, man. I filthy, y'all.
They
Filthy.
filthy.
I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. And there's another story we'll talk about later on that it comes hand in hand. There's a offering to their gods. This is what's happening. The iniquity shall abound. That's what the words say. It
Exactly.
shall abound. They're so proud of it. They're so proud to be out and doing this stuff you coming against the children.
You coming against the children. It's like, you rather protect your right to cross dress than to protect the children. This law say, look, man, I'm not gonna read it again, but the main point of it is in front of minors or on public property. People be talking crazy about Greg Abbott, man. Black people love dogging out Greg Abbott. And I'm not just going to say he's the best person in the world, by no means. Even DeSantis in Florida, right? I'm not going to say he's the best person in the world. But look here, man. When you got true right conservatives, they got values that stick close to what true values is supposed to be. Now, if they racist and don't like black people, that's a whole nother thing. But stuff like this here, how could you not? How could you not applaud them for stuff like that there, man?
Right.
No child should be allowed. Matter of fact, I think they should have made 775 laws that should went into effect, and the 775th law should have been, if you take a child to a pride parade, your ass going to jail.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it's gonna get whooped, but nah, yeah. Either one.
One.
So this is like, why would you? And see, Greg Abbott knows exactly that. He knows these punk parents taking these children, because children, we love a parade.
Right.
Not that type of parade.
Right.
Children traditionally go to parades that got cotton candy and bands playing.
Right.
Not that foolishness.
Not that foolishness.
Foolishness, yo.
And that's exactly what it is. And again, that goes with wordplay. Parade. Everybody think parade. You think family fun. Parade. Come on, man.
A drag artist. You ain't. Drag you out of here.
Okay.
Put a thick knot around your head. What you talking about, drag artist? That don't even make sense. And it's interesting that's the start of, but it keeps going. The caveat of that, or the what they call them addendums of that, is they got talking about the drag shows and sexually explicit performances. They got the transgender athletes, the gender affirming.
Yeah, exactly.
All of that.
It's all of that.
It's
right.
They done lumped it into. It's two addendums of that LGBTQ statute. Oh man, this boy.
Greg Abbott is trying his best to protect women's in sports. We could talk about this all day. You know what I'm saying. This will be a long conversation, and we got other stuff to get to. But there was another part of that that law, like you was talking about, was that he's banning male to female to participate in sports with women. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You can't do it. I mean, I wish the female would decide she want to be a dude and say that she finna go play football.
Bruh.
You finna get wrecked.
Wrecked. Because that's
you're about to get wrecked.
It's brutal out there.
And that's the same thing. Think about a dude. Like I watch volleyball. I like volleyball.
Right.
Think about a dude going from dude to female, getting on the varsity. You gonna hurt somebody.
Right. And that's man. And to answer your question, Banath Shaw Ahaya, why do they want the children so bad? Man, they know that our children is coming up in this truth. Like, we didn't have it. So the enemy is trying to combat that and take the world's children and give them all of this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like like you're right. They target these children so bad. So I said, men in leather straps. Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
Man. But yeah, that's why they want the children. They want to implement all of this stuff. So in 10 to 15 years,
it's normal.
When it's time for them to vote, it's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal.
You ain't gonna know what you got. You ain't gonna know what you got in the Senate, the White House, or nothing. All of them gonna be looking like Mitch McConnell.
Boy, freezing up on the camera thing. Do it again out. Boy, y'all, he done did it for a second or third time. Boy, he didn't even know what he was.
Look at.
He older than Joe Biden.
Looking like that buzzard on Looney Tunes. Hey, let's get to the beyond critical race theory.
Okay. We're gonna leave that alone. We'll be there all night on that.
Right.
Man, we got a good one, guys. We're gonna stay on the kind of positive tip, but you could not tell me when I was little and I first heard about this in like second or third grade, man. You couldn't tell me. I wanted to be a Tuskegee Airman, but I wanted one of them jackets, man.
Okay.
Helmets.
Right.
Tell me I wasn't gonna be one, man. And they was like my true first heroes. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into it tonight. Now we've seen the movie with Terrence Howard and a couple other brothers. But tonight we're gonna talk about, and I got this article again from African Archives at Twitter. Okay. Go to their website, man. They got a wealth of information. But we get to learn about the movie. Talks about the guys that kind of were famous for the Tuskegee Airmen, but we're going to talk about how in 1941, the first U.S. Army flying school for black cadets was dedicated at Tuskegee, Alabama. I'm going to talk about 5 guys, and I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look, so we can know their names. Let's see where we at. Here we go, right here. Take a look at that. You got Frank N. Wright, Robert J. Murdoch, Jimmy D. Wheeler, Joseph L. Joe Chineworth. Down at the bottom left, Emil G. Clifton. And on your right at the bottom, Richard S. Rip Harder. That was their names, man. So let's get into it. It says the first unit, the 99th Pursuit Squadron, was activated at Chanute Field in Runtoul, Illinois on March 19th, 1941, 9 months before the United States officially entered World War II. And these guys are not talked about because these guys, even like the movie shows, they were instrumental in the United States winning that World War. They took out, with their artillery coming overboard, they took out a lot of ground and land units. So the U.S. units could come in and sweep, and the colonels and the major generals would get all the credit. But these guys don't get credit enough. So this is why I want to talk about this tonight. It says, over the past 7 decades, the exploits of the Tuskegee Airmen have been celebrated, occasionally mythologized, and used as a recent reminder of the patriotism and heroism of African Americans in times of national crisis. Mounting pressure by Black leaders such as Union activist A. Philip Randolph, NAACP Chief Executive Walter F. White, and First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, and the Black press to increase the presence in all branches of military service, eventually persuaded a reluctant War Department to allow for training of African Americans as fighter pilots. Initially, there was no training for the bomber crews. That's crazy. They didn't want to train them. They approved it at an isolated field at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, thus preempting contact with white trainees. They couldn't even make contact with the white trainees. The legal authority to form a Black combat flying unit sprang from Public Law 18, enacted in 1939, which directed the Civil Aviation Authority to allow for the establishment of training programs for the Negro pilots at designated locations, most notably Tuskegee Institute, now Tuskegee University, and a revised Selective Service Act of 1940 that effectively ended discrimination in the recruiting of men for the armed forces. Despite the strictures of brutal and demeaning segregation in the nation's military and the actions of a few of its white commanders to retard their efforts, 992 African American flight cadets completed the Army Air Corps course between July 1941 and the end of World War II, including many who had originally been assigned to the Old Buffalo Soldier units, the 9th and 10th Cavalries, and the 24th and 25th Infantries. That's a lot to take in. Yep. 992 African Americans. See, we learned about they gave us the basic foundations in school, and then gave us, the movie, but you thought it was just them. You didn't know these guys set the implement for another 992 of us that was flying in the air, knocking out tanks in Germany, knocking out British, or the adversary tanks and submarines. We were never told this. It says also because they were segregated units supporting personnel who were black, bombardiers, navigators, mechanics, and instructors also had to be trained, and they too are considered Tuskegee Airmen who kept the pilots aloft. It says graduation of the first 5 pilots who received their wings took place on March 7th, 1942 at the Tuskegee Army Airfield. Roughly 450 men joined the 99th Pursuit Squadron, initially led by whites, but later ably commanded by, and now here are the names that we're probably familiar with, Captain Benjamin O. Davis, Jr., who also took charge of the all-black 477th Bombardment Group in 1945. The 99th and the 332nd Fighter Group saw action in North Africa and Italy, where they distinguished themselves, winning hundreds of decorations for skill and gallantry in combat. Flying P-39 Airacobras, Curtis P-440 Warhawks, P-47 Thunderbolts, and lastly, P-51 Mustangs among the feats of the fighter pilots who flew more than 1,500 sorties was the downing of more than 100 enemy aircraft in aerial combat, including 3 of Germany's fearsome Me-262s, the world's first operational fighter jet, demolishing nearly 150 enemy planes on the ground and ruining an Italian destroyer that had been converted to a German torpedo boat. Boy,
them boys putting in work.
Listen,
them boys putting in work.
And once again, the American forces on the ground get all the credit, but you're looking at the guys that should get the credit.
That's right.
These are guys. It's telling you right here.
That's right.
These are the guys that should have got credit. And I commend Eleanor Roosevelt and Walter F. White. They was fighting like
right.
We need to mention these guys.
Right.
But you see how the mainstream media, they suppressed it.
Right.
They suppressed it. They give Dwight D. Eisenhower, the president, and Woodrow, they give all those guys all the accolades and all the generals accolades, but you're looking at these guys right here. It says, lastly, the Tuskegee Airmen were prized and respected in the Army Air Force for their success in closely protecting Allied bombers flying missions into Axis territories. Moreover, their outstanding performance served to bolster African American pride and facilitated the transition to an integrated military in the post-war years. Among the Tuskegee Airmen emerged a number of future leaders, including Air Force 4-star generals Benjamin O. Davis, Daniel Chappie James, Major General Lucius Theus, Detroit Mayor Coleman Young, New York Bureau President Percy Sutton, pioneering San Francisco physician Wendell Liscombe, and sociologist Dr. Dempsey W. Morgan. So salute to these guys right here you see on the screen, the 5 first that graduated in the Tuskegee Institute. Ain't that something, man?
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. So
the whole time you was reading this, we gonna have to get through this one real quick too. Yeah. Looking at the time.
Yeah.
But the whole time you was reading that, the Ruach said something to me. She was like, ain't no group of white people did anything better than what they did.
Nothing like
and
that.
And the reason why we know that is because they would have talked about it. We ain't heard of no group of white people in the era doing what so the only thing that they could do, because they can't tell you the story of white men doing it better, we just gonna suppress this story.
Come on, man.
We just gonna suppress this story. You find out about this on your own. This is why I always say, my family tell you, I tell people all the time, knowledge is in the books. Knowledge is in the books.
Come on now.
They not gonna tell you everything on it. You want to know something? Go open up a book.
Come on now.
You know that right there, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, man. I've seen that. I was like, I gotta share this with the folks. So yeah,
right.
They don't teach it in school, but guess what? You heard it right here exclusively on Truth Be Told Plus podcast. About the 5 first Tuskegee Airmen graduates. All praises. Yeah,
all
man.
praises. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We learn here on Truth Be Told Flex podcast every week. Every week. Let's go ahead and hit that first music break. Right?
Let's get it. Let's get that mono. Hate us so much. Let's go. Let the OG talk.
Let's talk about it. We love all them, but hate our own. If they ain't black, they could do no wrong. But if they is black, then they life be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much? Somebody tell me, why do we hate us so much?
We gotta do better, man.
We love all them, but hate our own. If
love everybody else except ourselves.
But if they is black, then they life be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much?
Man, let the OG talk to him real quick. You know what I'm talking about? It go like that right here.
We love all them, but hate our own. And if they ain't black, they could do no wrong. But if they is black, then they like be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. Been way too long, hope the lights come on. The blindfold off, but the sight's still gone. I'm praying one day we can right our wrong. Let's need for the cops when the pops come home. I'm an OG now, let me talk to the young bulls. Do you even think twice for your gun pull? Do you even think once for you throw it all away? Bang, bang, but it's not a freaking cartoon. We gotta do better, our life is at stake. No crabs in the bucket, I'd rather have steak. Bump it, let's go get a cow, bring it back to the hood, break it down and we all get a plate. Yeah, that's what I'm on, it's only one way. Gotta love ourselves cause the world full of hate. How in the hell we expect to be great when it's like super thin and they sharp at the skates? Our hearts full of love, our brothers we hate. That's Deuteronomy in 28. Not to get biblical, if we live biblical, break all these curses and all will be straight. We love all them, but hate our own. If they ain't black, they can do no wrong. But if they is black, then they like be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much? Somebody tell me, why do we hate us so much? We love all them, but hate our own. If they ain't black, they could do no wrong. But if they ain't black, then they life be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much? Somebody tell me, why do we hate us so much? We love master them. Do our people wrong, gotta pass for them. Steady walking around kissing ass for them. If a nigga look wrong, then we blasting them. Bro, what the hell is really wrong with our kinfolk? Do the Black Lives Matter to our kinfolk? If I was a lighter shade, would you still be so enraged? Or you only spinning blocks on your skin, folk? We gotta do better, we all that we got. And trust me, the enemy coming in hot. Ready to hand us a handful of rocks and encourage our own to go blow up our spot. Bro, it's friendly fire that be really killing us. And it's they desire that we put it into us. Homie, think about it before you let the semi bust. Go when the rubber meet the road, who you really trust? Sheesh. It's time out for foolishness, let's start the rain again. Why you acting like enemies calling each other twins? We need all our OGs to raise up some better men. The world really be scared when we all come together then. But hate our own. If they ain't black, they could do no wrong. But if they is black, then they life be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much? Somebody tell me, why do we hate us so much? We love all them, but hate our own. If they ain't black, they could do no wrong. But if they is black, then they life be gone. For being too dark in the light skin zone. So why do we hate us so much? Somebody tell me, why do we hate us so much?
Certified banger right there, man.
Yeah,
certified
it is.
Banger, man.
Yeah, it is.
Hate us so much, man. Oh my God.
And the message behind that one too, man. See it every day with our people. You heard me? Every day with our people.
Day, man.
Yes, indeed.
Better believe it. What we got next?
Thank you. Yeah, so check this out, man.
Yeah.
Before we go to this next story, and I want to say thank you to the Water Iron for bringing this here to me. How this one here got past me, I have no idea, because this the type of stuff that I like to try to stay on top of, right?
Yes, sir.
But this one here got me. But before we get there, let's get some scripture though, man, because there is something about this particular event. It's not a coincidence that it comes at this time of the year. You dig what I'm saying?
Come on
it's
now.
not a coincidence. Thank you, man. Let's get Leviticus chapter 23. And we're going to read 33 through 43. So it's a little bit, but it's important that we read it. You ready, Yacht?
Yeah, Leviticus 23.
We're going to start at verse 33.
33. Gotcha.
We're going to read 10 verses, 33 through 43.
All right.
All right. It says, And the Most High spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles. For 7 days unto the Most High. The first day shall be a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. And on the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you. You shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, a drink offering, everything upon this day. Besides the Shabbats of the Most High, and besides your gifts, and besides all your vows, and besides all your free will offerings which you give unto the Most High. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast until the Most High 7 days. On the first day shall be a Shabbat, on the 8th day shall be a Shabbat. Ye shall take you on the first day the boughs of the goodly trees, branches of the palm trees, boughs of thick trees, willows of the brook. Ye shall rejoice before the Most High, your Elohim, 7 days. Ye shall keep it a feast until the Most High 7 days. In the year it shall be a statute forever. In your generations ye shall celebrate in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths. Here we go.
Come on.
42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths. That's tents, by the way.
Yep.
That your generation may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Ahiah, your power. This burning man festival that they have, it is no coincidence that they have it at this particular time of the year. It's telling last week, letting it known that we was entering into the 7th month. We were on the verge of going into the 7th month of the Enoch lunar calendar. The 7th month. And the things that they do here, it implements this here. Go to show you that they know our power, they know our word, and they know our laws. It is not an accident that the burning man happens at this time of the year.
Right. Come on, man. Wow. Yeah. It is serious too. They doing a little bit of digging. We got a little small video. Do we got a video?
Well, I forgot to record it, but I found it. I thought about it. When you was doing the I got it. Okay, you don't want to run it?
Yeah, let's.
You want to run the first 3? You want to run the first 3 minutes of it?
Yeah.
Okay, then cool.
Just to give everybody a brief synopsis of what's at stake. Like she just read, they have read our book. They know who the people are, and they try to mock or they try to combat.
That's exactly what they do.
It's a mockery. And this goes back, I've talked about this before. This goes back to the so-called ancient. They ain't that ancient, but the Druids in Ireland, the old Celts, um, of what they did when it came to sacrificing. They used to build up. Y'all seen the movie? You've heard of the movie The Wicker Man, or The Burning Man. They used to put people. They used to build this big giant uh, wicker man and used to put people in it and
People
set it,
inside of it
people
and
inside
burn
of
it
it and burn it.
and burn it.
And they used to do like thieves and stuff like that. But when they got bored and didn't have nobody to persecute, they used to just throw innocent people in there
Right.
to the point to where when Rome came to invade Britain and Ireland and they were doing that, they said Julius Caesar got spooked. He dipped out. He went back to Rome. He was like,
Right.
man, y'all it's crazy.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's just this Burning Man they talk about is just an arts festival. Nah.
It's not.
And
not.
what happened this year was it got flooded, it got muddy, and they couldn't leave. FEMA was activated. And when you got a national federal resource activated like that, it's serious. And they even was talking about the virus that rhymes with Ricola was in the midst. I didn't want to say it.
Right.
Name, you know how they. But so yeah, it's called the Burning Man, and it said this article out of the New York Times. It's talking about Burning Man attendees begin to leave soggy festival site. Now, like Shir was saying, they had this festival for 8 days, y'all, and they gather on the first day, and then on the 8th day they burn this thing. Is that not what he just read? He just read the Shabbats and how we do the feast for the Feast of Tabernacles. He just read it right there in Leviticus. So once again, they have read that and say, "Oh, we're gonna do our own like that.
That's right.
We're gonna put our tents out there." And you're right, Shaka Boom. As a people, we need to wake up, y'all, because on that 8th day, when they burn that man, I want to read this right here in this article. It says, on Monday night, the festival's climax, postponed twice because of the weather, finally took place. The burning of a towering wooden effigy shaped like a man. The ceremony, which usually features raucous dancing and ear-splitting music, was much calmer this year, with nearly half of the roughly 72,000 attendees having left the site. Here's what I want. Here's what I want you to read out of this. To get out of this, it says, in normal years, people at the festival have to contend with sweltering temperatures and dust storms because it takes place out in the city called Black Rock in the Utah desert in Nevada. Yep.
Is it Nevada, Utah?
I think it's Nevada.
It's Nevada. Okay, yeah.
It says Donovan McGrath, a 47-year-old yoga instructor from Los Angeles, said that many at the camp threw parties inside recreational vehicles, played games, and got to know the people they were stuck indoors with. Now, y'all, 72,000 people. What kind of games y'all think they were playing? What kind of parties you think they was having?
Come on now.
I was telling Sheer about this show that everybody should go watch, because in this show they were doing this. They were offering up these sacrifices to their gods by burning this wicker. They had this festival every year, and it takes place between October and November. The series is called Britannia.
Right.
And what happened, like I just read, raucous features raucous dance. You know what raucous means? In Britannia, they got naked and they smeared this paint and all this mud all on them, and they just danced and beat these drums and just was in this trance as this wooden wicker thing burned over in the night, over into the morning. So once again, what kind of strange fire are they offering up? What kind of sacrifice? Like, what's going to happen now that 72,000 people are going back to their cities after being closed up?
Man.
Y'all see the numbers of a certain going up. What's going to happen now? On top of what sacrifices did they offer up to this strange? What did they summon? Or what did they bring through? It's crazy, man.
It is.
What you think about it? What you think about that? Man?
It is, man. You made a great point of these 70,000 people going back to where they come from after being in this environment with these strange ruachs, offering to these gods that a lot of them out there, they don't even know who they are.
They don't, right.
They just following, and that's the thing with Satan, is that Satan don't care if you know what you're doing or not, as long as he's being worshipped. This thing started in 1986 with two men burning an 8-foot tall human-shaped sculpture in San Francisco at Baker Beach at a small crowd gathering to watch for the first annual Burning Man. How strange was that these two men decided that they was going to do this in 1986? I don't believe that it was that innocent. You understand what I'm saying? It was not that innocent. We got to understand, like I told Ayob earlier when we was talking about that, is that these are the same God that we, as the children of Israel, was sacrificing our children unto in the Bible.
Yep.
These are the same gods that the Most High got upset with us, that we provoked him to jealousy with. These are the exact same gods that they're dealing with today. They'll give you a date that it started with the Druids, you know what I'm saying, in Ireland, but no, it predates the Druids.
Yes, that's
It predates these gods predate that. This is why I named the show Job 9:24, because the earth was given to the hands of the wicked.
Come on, man.
And we seeing this here in events like this. This is an all-out ceremony. They are lucky that all the Most High did was cause it to rain.
That's it.
They lucky.
They lucky. And that's why the Most High he made it flood. He's like, y'all think I'm gonna show y'all who in charge.
You know why? This is my opinion, as to why he caused it to flood the way that it did and had them stuck there the way that it did, because it drew attention on it. I never heard of Burning
I've never
Man.
heard of it.
You see what I'm saying? So now you got 70,000 people stuck in the desert. This has to be reported. So the Most High gave us an insight on what these people be doing that we have absolutely no idea what they doing.
That's a sign and a wonder.
That's a sign and a wonder.
For real.
And they talk about it so effortless, as if it's just something innocent that they're doing, when what they're doing is provoking the Most High. Like Yama said, straight up mockery of the feast days of the Most High. Satan said, I want to be like the Most High. That's what he said. I will ascend.
That's what he said. That's what he said. And
so he know that he can't have the Feast of Tabernacles. Did you hear what the Most High said? He said, you dwell in booths so that the world may know that I created the children of Israel to dwell in booths. Now, what are some of the things that they do here? It says that the Burning Man is about self-expression and rejection of corporatism and capitalism. Instead of using money, attendees borrow, barter, and trade for what they need. It says people create a fleeting, self-sustaining community. Sound like the Feast of Tabernacles. They create a fleeting, self-sustaining community that theoretically leaves no trace of trash upon its completion. However, the encampment is not without its problems, including, like Ayob was saying, drug use, arrest, sexual assault. Who gonna complain about sexual assault in a 70,000 populated? What do you think? Look, and by no means, please understand me. Think of me as a Trump supporter before you think of me as one that advocate for sexual assault or rape or something like that, okay?
Right.
But what do you think is going to happen when you're around that many people in a ceremony like this here?
What do you think is going
when you got drugs flying, I'm sure, everywhere now. What I really want you to pay attention to, though, we talking 70,000 people. We thinking that this just regular 70,000 people, right? I never heard of it. Ayob said he had never heard of it. I'm sure if you've ever heard of the Burning Man, let me get a 1 in the chat.
Yeah.
If you never heard of it, let's get a 2 in the chat. I know Shaka Boom gonna give us a 1. She know
be on
everything.
everything,
She be on everything.
my baby.
Everybody
That's my
vote for
baby.
Shaka Boom. You know? You know what I'm saying? But this the thing though, Safi, I believe that he did. I believe that he did. Yeah, cause he be the one that bring a lot of stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? I believe that he did. But look at these names to be here. Elon Musk. The world wealthiest person has been a regular at the Burning Man. Huh? Telling Recode in 2014 that if you haven't been, you just don't get it. Another name, Mark Zuckerberg, flew in for a day in 2012 to serve up grilled cheese sandwiches and even set up his own tent. His own tent, according to his friend and Facebook co-founder Dustin Moskovitz. In 2018, shortly after, she was indicted on federal fraud charges. Theranos, the founder, Elizabeth Holmes, retreated to the desert and burned an efficacy, effigy, for her failed startup, she told the New York Times.
She in prison now.
She in prison now. You see? One of the 10 pillars of the Burning Man is radical self-reliance. What do you think we be doing in them tents in the 7th month during the Feast of Tabernacle? What do you think that we be doing? This is one of the 10 pillars of the Burning Man is radical self-reliance. This is nothing more than a false Feast of Tabernacles to a fallen God that they are out there worshiping. And when you think about what it really is sickening, because they will build this big old wooden man and they will put people. I don't care if they are criminals. Can you imagine the smell of the original Burning Man?
No, I thought about that today, and when I was reading this the other day, it's crazy you say that because it's almost like I smelt. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I put myself in that moment, and I was like, I could not imagine hearing those screams of them people that was in that wicker man, and they was whether they stole something, food, whatever. That is brutal. That is, and once again, the Most High said, "Y'all better not let y'all children pass through this fire." I don't care what they did.
Exactly.
Sacrificing y'all children, and that's, bruh. But I want to show y'all this right quick. Let me show y'all how to, like, Shir just said something great. How the Most High showed out. This is on day 4. I found this picture. Look at this. This is on day 4 of the festival. Y'all see that? Yeah, look at that rainbow.
I saw that too. I saw that too.
Listen, I don't know what's wrong. Oh, y'all got me messed up.
Right.
Y'all got me messed up, yo.
Right.
You just put the rainbow right there.
Right.
In the middle of it. Like,
a big bow. A big bow. Full bow.
Full. So,
and after all of this, like Ezra said, after all of this, they still didn't repent. They still didn't repent.
So once again, these plagues in Mizraim, once again, we could see it going on. All of them that was falling. So now that these people are going back to their respective jobs and their cities, their homes, ain't no telling what they bringing back. That's the big thing that's been with me.
Well, I know one thing that they bringing back is bad spirits. And see, and you alluded to it when you first started talking about that with the crime rate already going up. And now you got to deal with 70,000 people. They all know other people. Now you got to think whether I know the person or not. Like if I knew somebody that went to the Burning Man, let's say that person stayed in my house. You bringing that ruach in my house.
That's it. That's what it's all about, the ruach. That's exact. Spiritual warfare is about to be. Listen, y'all. This is whatever they offered up, and it says that it's they offer up on the last day once they burn it. They offer up whatever they've been through during the year, whatever they aspire to do.
It's like cleansing. It's a rebirth. That's what they call it. They said it's a rebirth. It's a
So
rebirth.
once all of the what they call energy, once all them ruachs get on one accord and they burn that thing and let it burn for hours.
I had a video when it was burning because they still burnt it after all of
Yeah,
that
after
flooding.
all of that.
All of that flooding they still burning. I
burnt.
had a video of them burning and the noises that they was making during the time that it was burning. It was eerie. It was very eerie. Play that little 38-second video that we have before we go to our music break.
All right.
A burning desire to get out of Burning Man? Let me just show you this, because you're going to look at some satellite pictures of the Burning Man festival area in the Nevada desert. Now, partygoers who gathered for the week-long event are finally now being allowed to leave after heavy rain forced roads to close and turned the site into a mud bath. Truly a mass exodus, as something like 72,000 people, who I'm sure are seriously in need of a shower to wipe off some of that mud, rush to get home. The Burning Man, more like an exhausted man or woman at this point.
See how easy she talked about that, as if that was just some casual, event, like a concert or something like that, man. Yeah. This is the world that we live in.
I'm sorry, real quick,
go ahead.
Before I forget for it. Did y'all peep the half circle?
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a phoenix bird, the phoenix rising from the ashes, the rebirth. Did y'all catch that? How they got all their RVs? It's in that half circle that looks like in the middle, it's a tail going down it. This stuff is not coincidence, y'all. Go ahead,
Exactly. No, you good. You're absolutely good, man. But yeah, so these are the things that be happening in our world, and you could call that. They got the black web, they got the black market. This is what you could call, that underground. This is the thing, because look at the names: Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. These are people that go. Now these people know these guys. Right. Mark Zuckerberg know what God he worships. So these folks out there looking at all these other people out there that don't know, they just looking at them like, hey, you just enjoy yourself while you giving praise to my God, because they understand.
Right.
And they understand what's going on.
Right. They understand that somebody, when I made that post today on Facebook with the little video clip, somebody in the comments said that Chris Rock has been there before.
Yes, he was out there. He got stuck.
He got stuck this time.
He got stuck this time. Exactly.
So, yeah, man. The commentator at CNN, she found it amusing, smiling and laughing. And once again, like we said before, Daniel 12:2. Once again, we've always said it. The whole world is waking up to what's in their DNA, to their roots. The great awakening for us, the true brews, we're waking up to our power, our book. They're waking up to whatever their roots are.
Right.
Whatever their power is. We said it, and this spiritual thing is ramping up to the point to where you're going to truly, we just said last week, you're going to truly have to be sealed.
Right.
You're going to have to be.
Right.
Listen, y'all. Once again, like Shir said, it's a two-edged sword. What they're bringing back literally to their homes, but most important, ruachically and spiritually. What they're bringing back from that place, man. Back to their jobs, to the stores they shop at.
Yeah. 70,000 people, you got to think. That's affecting a lot of people in a lot of different places, a lot of cities, a lot of schools, a lot of children, a lot of families. You got to, and then so when you read Jasher, when you read the book of Jasher, you got to think, man, once a quarter, which is summer, spring, fall, and winter, they would go down by the river. Right. And they would have those orgies. That's what it is. They would go down by the river and have them orgies. Josh should tell you that. These people have not changed. And I love the way Ayo brought that out, is because they're going back to their roots. The power of the Bible is our power.
Right.
The Gentiles have their powers as well.
And that's
what made the Most High so mad, is because instead of us loving him, we went and chased after they gods.
Come on, bring it out. Come on, man.
We went and chased their gods. And so what the Most High is showing us, look, I'm still Alpha. I'm still Alpha Elohim. I flooded this joke out. He could have killed 70,000 people like that. if he wanted to, but he didn't. He just put light on it so that we can see this is what these fools be doing.
Yep, and that in itself is grace and mercy, because y'all, I was like, Burning Man, what is this? And I started looking, I was like, what in the world? And I thought about Leviticus 23. I thought about that. I thought about Job 9:20. I thought about Proverbs 29. What happens when the world is given into the hands of the wicked? What happens when the wicked rule?
Right.
People perish when the wicked rule.
People perish when the exactly.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
keep it moving, man. Great topics. Great topics. What we got? Music break, and then we got TikTok talk. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get this Neo with Monologue My God and Ish.
That's my dude.
Yeah, man.
I knew this was there. I think I went straight to this song here first when I saw. Yeah.
Right, well, when I heard this at the launch party, I was looking at Mono like, boy, y'all, this joint is fire right here. Let's get
exactly.
Feeling when you're in a room full of people and you feel alone. It's a hurting feeling when you around society and when you speak, nobody really understands you because they so caught up into social media and they so caught up in the reality television. It's difficult being around individuals when that's really what they care about. And care about that. When I meet people that share similar interests, it's refreshing, it's beautiful. I can't be wrong because this person feel like me.
Oh yeah. For real. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now how can it be? How can it be? It's people that's feeling like me. It's folks thinking for themselves right now. Don't need your college degree. Not trying to follow no way right now. Not really wanna be free. Yeah, that's silly on me. Unplugged from the matrix, Neo me. How can it be? How can it be? It's people that's feeling like me. It's folks thinking for themselves right now. Don't need your college degree. Not trying to follow no way right now. Not really wanna be free. Okay, yeah, that's silly on me. Unplugged from the matrix, Neo me. Y'all really believe that, huh? Too late to be playing, huh? I can trust the same folks took you from the land God made you from. I know it's been ages, bro, but we flipping them pages, bro. Been in the dark so goddamn long that all of this light is amazing, huh? Open up your eye, just look. Hear things from a nigga that was written in the book. Lie to me once, we can blame it on the crook. Don't keep eating lies, let go of the hook. It's folks that use they brain for real and broke them chains for real. Who do not play they games for real against the grain for real. Who do not care what master feels, say bump your mass appeal. Who will not sell they soul for all that gold, man, get for real. We way too smart to be so dumb, acting like you can't walk and chew gum. Way too much heart to be so numb. It's time to realize we them ones, yeah, we them folks, and we them Jews. And we ain't blind, we see them clues. Our sisters poppin', we them dudes. Got made our plate, let's eat our food. Then you ain't done for using your brain. You know that stuff they been pushing insane. Red or blue pill, call me Neo, cause folks like us change the game. Now how can it be? How can it be? It's people that's feeling like me. It's folks thinking for themselves right now. Don't need your college degree. Not trying to follow no way right now. Not really wanna be free. Yes, that's silly on me. Unplugged from the matrix, Neo me. Now how can it be? How can it be? It's people that's feeling like me. It's folks thinking for themselves right now. Don't need your college degree. Not trying to follow no way right now. Not really wanna be free. Yes, that's silly on me. Unplugged from the matrix, Neo me.
Step into the ride, boy. All hands on deck. We connect, that's love. Respect that, this what it is, but it always was. Define unplug for me. Look here, homie. Things done changed. Look at these 6-inch fangs. Look at these flames coming off my cranium. I ain't come here to play no games, boy. How can it be? How can you not take a look and see that tree in the garden's got eternal life? Do not let it pass by me. I'ma need that. I can show you where to read that. I can show you how to flow to the mic feedback. So you wanna learn how to get the world off your back. Show them where the truth at. If you gon' show them that right there, they gon' all disperse. They gon' say that you crazy first. They gon' try to do things that hurt. I don't even flirt with the life they live. Give them 1 inch, they gon' take 2 miles. Ain't no church in a while, they file as the day is long. Get about that crowd. Standing without a dogs, killers and all untruth. Fall on back. Matter of fact, this that time. Start cutting all that loose. Pick what's hanging, it's that fruit. Switch your lane, red or blue pill. Call me Neo. Folks like us done changed the game.
How can it be? How can it be? It's people that's feeling like me. It's folks thinking for themselves right now. Don't need your college degree. Not trying to follow no way right now. Not really wanna be free. Yes, that's silly on me. Unplugged from the matrix, Neo me.
Yeah, man, I had both ears on. I don't never put both ears on. I had both ears on. I got them. I got these sound crushers, right? Where I can increase the bass, so it feel like I got a rattler on my head, right? I had to turn the camera off because I'm up in here cutting the rug, and I ain't want nobody to see that I be on 1 and 3 instead of 2 and 4.
Not 1 and 3, y'all.
I be on 1 and 3.
You got that one step. I know. Yeah. You both, boy. I think, boy.
Man, yeah, that I is though, man. Look here, say, hey, true MC, you heard me?
True MC, MC's MC, artist.
Exactly. He remind me, his voice, his delivery remind me of Chubb Rock.
Chubb Rock. Yeah.
His voice, his delivery remind me of Chubb. But see, a lot of people only know Chubb Rock for just that. Chubb Rock was a bad dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Chubb Rock was a bad dude, man.
That white tape I had to hear that first album, I probably popped that tape 4 or 5 times.
Come on now. Hey, them youngsters, see, tape was what we listened to music on back in the day.
Bruh. Took that pencil and rewinded
it. And you gotta be fine with it. When you're putting it in, you gotta make sure it's straight going back up in that joint. Say, look here, man. Look here, man.
Up again, you gotta make sure that joint rewinding that joint with that pencil.
Look here, man. Yeah, the struggle was real. The struggle was real.
It was.
Let's get that TikTok talk.
Let's get it.
To receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way...
Man. Play it one more again. One more again.
To receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way...
They understood
exactly. They understood.
They didn't understand.
Reason why I wanted to use this for a TikTok talk, because white people always want to say that racism don't exist, that it's not as bad as y'all say that it is, that they talking to us that we always want to pull the race card. And they'll come and hit us with, well, that wasn't me, that was our ancestors and stuff like that. Look, she asked y'all a question. If it's not so bad, if it don't exist, if we overreacting, if we always pulling a race card, why come nobody stood up?
And she said, Jane Elliott, that's her name, Jane Elliott.
Yeah.
She said the question again. She said, I don't think y'all understood. If you wanna, cause after that, in the full one, she said, cause I think after she asked it again, a couple people stood up. Then she said, well, let me say it one more time. If you want
white
to be
folks
black in America,
start
from scratch,
right?
As a black person, stand up. Nobody, boy, it was crickets. And you're right, they always want to say, oh, y'all complaining. Reparation, that's in the past, or I shouldn't have to live up to what my ancestors did. Okay, all right, because guess what? At some
you had your opportunity,
right?
She gave a room full of y'all an opportunity to stand up. If you say that, you know, racism, because it's two things they say ain't real. They say that white privilege ain't real, and they say that racism ain't real. Now, just think if a brother was in there, let's say Dick Gregory was in a room full of people, brothers, and he said, if you niggas in here want to have the same kind of privileges as white folks, please stand up.
Everybody was I'll be the first one. If I get 2 helpings.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Understand what I'm saying? You telling me we ain't gonna get redlined no more? You telling me I'm not gonna get followed in the store no more? You telling me that I'm not gonna get pulled over in my car when I ride through a neighborhood no more? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I've literally, there's YouTube videos of bank robbers coming out of the bank, meeting the police force in the front of the bank. White boys with semi-automatic weapons, drawn. Police telling them over and over to put the gun down,
Put the
and they
guns
do
down.
it. Armed
Bruh.
with the AK-47, 3 or 4 of them coming out with
Ain't
bags.
nobody shot.
Ain't nobody shot. They get taken in handcuffs and they go to jail. We don't even have nothing on. Philando Castile was like, listen, I got something on me, but I'm not grabbing for it. I'm doing what you told me. Bah, 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 bah.
Exactly.
And y'all mean to tell me we complaining? What?
Come on now. Y'all had the opportunity. Speak up.
Get over it. Oh, I'll get over it. Run me my money. And we can get over it quick.
Exactly.
Run me that paper.
Run me my coins, as my wife say.
Run me my coins.
Run me my coins, as my wife say.
Yeah. But yeah, Jane Elliott, she also has a go look her up, guys, and Google the Jane Elliott's Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes challenge, where it's an older video, but she takes the I think they're between 5 and 7, and she puts the little plastic baby dolls in front of
yes,
them.
Yes.
The brown eye or the blue eye. And most of them kids prefer the blue eye, y'all, because they said, and she said, why? Because they're just better.
They prettier.
Dang, they're pretty.
Was that her who also did it with the black doll and the white doll? Was that her? Because I seen that experiment as well. And it was so many black children, Israelite children that would pick the white doll. And as parents back in the day when they used to buy dolls for their children, they never really paid attention to what they was doing to their kids. They just go in and get a white doll. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just go in and so you conditioning your child early.
That's it.
And this is why we even have complex in our own community against dark skin and light skin. You know, I don't know how many. One of my favorite movies of all time. I can watch it anytime. Anytime somebody put it on. Anytime say let's watch it. I'm gonna say cool. Let's watch it. Let's get into it. It's School Days. School Days is a classic in so many different ways because there are so many different messages, but it's the same message in School Days. That is probably Spike Lee's one of his best films that he had ever made, man. One of the best films. Jigaboos and Wannabe, look here, man. That's real within our community.
It is, man.
And that's taught early. It's conditioned. Black dolls weren't really available. Big con on that. Big con on that.
That's why the character Carlton was so relatable, because when I was in elementary school and middle school and high school, I knew so many Carltons, man, that would just try to fit in. Like, you know what I'm saying? We played ball, so we was cool. You know what I'm saying? We, like, you know, had swag, natural swag, but it was I seen so many Carltons. Like, bro, why you walking into school with your t-shirt tucked in your pants? Like, you got it ain't no knit or a shirt. Right. You got a t-shirt. Right. Pants pulled away. What is going on? Like, you ain't have to be like that to be accepted. Like what is, like, and it's just like you just said, Doc, it's a conditioning, thinking you have to be a certain way to be accepted. Right. And then the ones that are not, you're gonna try to avoid them. You're gonna like exactly. Us. They try to avoid us. Say, oh, I ain't with them. They the ones that. It's crazy.
It's crazy in our community. The same people that say black is beautiful will be the same ones that tell their grandkids, if they got dreads in their head, you will never find a job with your hair like that. But you just said black is beautiful. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's the oxymoron of that. You know, I just almost made up a word. You know, I'll be quick to make up the oxymoronius of that. You know what I'm saying? you know, but that's what we do in our community. You know, we'll say black is beautiful, and then we'll be like, you know, why is it that, you know, why you talk like that?
Right,
you know?
Right. Why you talk like that? And that's right. But now that's the way it was. If you weren't an athlete, you had to play a certain role to be non-threatening.
That's still today.
That's still today right now.
That's still today right now.
You just mentioned that's why they're cutting athletes' dreads off.
Right.
You can't compete because you got dreads.
Man, they cut that boy hair off in that. Man, I said, boy, I told my wife if I was that child parent, I'm telling you now, I'd have been in jail.
I'd have went crazy. Like
I'd have been in jail.
Imagine being a little late. You're normally on time, but today you had some traffic rolling up to the game, and you probably get to the bleachers like, my son hair.
And that kid was balling. I don't know if I'd have been so upset because you cut his hair, but or over the feelings that the trauma that you are causing my child right now on this mat in front of all. That was humiliation. That was one of the 774 laws that Abbott passed here in Texas. The Crown Act. Why do we have to have a law to wear our hair natural?
That's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a parent rolling up saying my son or daughter's hair looked funny and then realizing they done cut their hair. And you come to the sideline, boy, what you did to your hair? Well, they cut it because they wouldn't let me play. Bruh, oh man, I would have lost it.
I'd have been everything that they say we are. I would have been everything that they say we are. Big, black, and ugly. I'd have been that nigga that day.
You got to leave out now. But I'm going.
I'd have been that nigga that day. We in an hour and 40, man. Let's get that music break so we can get that next topic in.
Yeah, man, I gotta get this out, you know what I'm talking about? Sheesh. Trying to talk some real quick. Bro, this truth come with pain. Come with pain, my boy. Yeah, this truth come with pain. Yeah. But I won't trade it for the world, though. Brothers, truth come with pain, for real, not a game, a drill. Wanna hide my tears, hope it rain, for real. You is not alone, cause it's how I feel, but every time I'ma take that deal. Brothers, truth come with pain, for real, not a game, a drill. Wanna hide my tears, hope it rain, for real. You is not alone, cause it's how I feel, but every time I'ma take that deal. What you know about most your friends and family that you done been around, claiming that they Christian treat you different cause you live it now. Some throw it off cause I won't gather around the Christmas tree. I'm so lost cause they won't do the Bible feast with me. But Passover's in the book though, so why all the hesitation, no shows and strange looks for? I'm just doing what my God said and live it like Christ. Same red letters that we all read. My young children get it, but my older kids don't. I should have been walking this walk, it's probably my fault. They'll be glad to hear this truth, yeah, that was my thoughts. I'm trying to teach them right, the world instructing southpaw. Nah, I'm the crazy one because I obey. No more crab legs seasoned with the Old Bay. I don't do no fornication, cut off Old Bay. We on that righteous path, homie, bump that old way. And I can't compromise even for my bloodline. If it affects eternity, yeah, that's a long time. And I ain't gonna tell you every day is filled with sunshine. Brothers, truth come with pain,
Brothers, truth come with pain, for real, not a game, a drill. Wanna hide my tears, hope it rain, for real. You is not alone, cause it's how I feel, but every time I'ma take that deal. Brothers, truth come with pain, for real, not a game, a drill. Wanna hide my tears, hope it rain, for real. You is not alone, cause it's how I feel, but every time I'ma take that deal.
Hey, what you know about being the top orator when you talk the book? Got the most sought after sister, give you them haunted looks. And real bruise round praying, say she off the hook, but elder want his man, so he dash enough salt to cook. Big fish and fin and scale the balance on the seaship. Moving like swine is why the counts be on them beef tips. They liquor drinking pre-game and I'm in these scripts. Taking down pre-sales, why they taking pre-sips? Couldn't find a woman in this truth that I obey. I reached in the world for pearls, brought in my Old Bay. They had it by the boatloads at the Old Bay. Black man cut the white girl, I was OJ. He had the white, I had the bands, that's a cold play. It cost $250,000, but 50,000 was the copay. It's a cost they bricks in, but the old way. I'm putting a brick in, it ain't no way, Jose. If you bored in this truth, then go and write a blog. If you lonely in this truth, then go and buy a dog. When me and Money Law together, it's a dialogue. Esau walking fire log, and he gon' dialogue. Ultimate torture, I'ma try it all. His arms and feet bound like I tied a hog. Just like I keep the Bible laws, I keep his vital laws, then write a law. We ain't forgetting them, we gon' scribe it all on tribal walls. Solomon saying I need a Xylanol. If this truth comes with pain, then bring the Tylenol. Rent under Caesar, but my leaders Peter, Christ, and Paul. Not knowing the hour, yeah, how will power my higher call. I evolve through gruesome nooses and lariats. UFO suited, booted, cruising in chariot. Whatever fruit ain't rooted, booted, and bury it. It's a lot of room to school, too many Judas Iscariots. I'm sitting in a coupe with no brains, just waiting on this truth and no pain. I'm reading Revelation in a coupe with no brains, just waiting on this truth and no pain. Christian.
Yeah,
Christian
man.
Corey said.
Who is Christian Corey?
He is Christian Corey. I believe he runs the Christian review platform. One of Monologue's old buddies that from back in the day, which is now I don't know if he's fully in the truth. It sounds like it.
Sounds like
what he just spit, but I believe his original Christian rap name is Christian Corey.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he said black man cut the white girl. They called me OJ.
Man, he said he couldn't find no good girl in this world. So how he said respecting this got his old say, man. Look here, dudes. Yeah, man.
Listen, that's why I told Unc. I said, bro, you can't retire, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But you know what, man? I dig. I was talking to my wife about it, and me and Mono talked about it as well. We talked about it as well. I get it. I understand, and I love the way he broke it down last night. You know, don't get it twisted in thinking that I'm retiring because I don't have it no more. I still got it, and anybody that know anything about music know that he still got it. He just understand how things work, and who, I mean, you know, don't nobody, like, we all athletes, right? We talk, you know, for those who are athletes. No athlete want to be told it's time to put it down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know athlete. You want, when you walk away from whatever it is that you do, you want to walk away still being able to perform at a high level.
Right. On your own.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be the one that, you know what I'm saying, that's remembered like me growing up. Tom Landry was a hell of a coach. But by the time I started watching football, the game had outpassed him. And all I heard was my family talking about how terrible of a coach he was, right? But say, I'm such a football head, I went back into the archives and started looking at young Tom Landry. Tom Landry was a hell of a coach. The problem is he didn't know when to leave. So when Jerry came, it wasn't, and Jerry said that was the hardest thing that he had to do. But Jerry understood, if I want to move forward, I can't do it with Tom Landry. Because the game is passed him by. So this game ain't passed Unc by. Unc understands that. So Unc said, I'm going to retire. Let these youngsters do it. I'm going to groom these youngsters. So when you think about it, he still ain't going nowhere, because we finna start seeing a whole lot of Unc and a whole lot of these youngsters, right? And he also said, hey, if you need a good 16, hit me up.
And that's the thing, man. You gotta, when you're content with where the Most High has brought you from. And we talked about it at the Drip and Sip when we was, you know, me, you, him, and King 7. We was talking about that, just knowing when it's time. And he was already alluding to it then. And I remember we was like, you say that now. He was like, man, nah, God, you know, I think the end is coming up. It's
exactly.
Close. And like you said, and like he said, he just knows that when it's time to walk away and do some other things, it's just, he's like, you know, that's what the OG is. The OG's like, look, let's let these youngsters have this.
Let these youngsters have this. Out, you know, and we gonna be direction for them.
Right. That's it.
We gonna be direction for them. So yeah, man, and just think about how refreshing it would be if he really do retire. Don't drop no more, but yet he's on features. Man, say you gonna go check that out just to hear. You know what I'm saying? What Mono bring it to the thing, man.
Because dropping something like Let the OG Talk,
right?
You can put it in and just let it run from 1 to 17 and all the features
and
that
you can't, right?
And you don't skip. And then for him to be gone, but then hit a feature with Ayob and hit a feature with Rowway the Chef and hit a feature with Travis Knight. You gonna get that,
right?
You gonna spend your last couple dollars like I'm
to go get that. I'm gonna get exactly. So to me, you know what I'm saying. And I don't take this, no disrespect, Mr. Mono. Go ahead and retire. Give it to the youngsters and drop them hot 16, baby.
Every now and then, boy.
Every now and then. and blow 3MG up the way that you say, it's gonna be hot.
Just drop a bomb.
Mono ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. He gonna be around. He gonna be around.
Mono ain't going nowhere. What we got, man? We got about 10 minutes.
Boy, let's run through this. But this is a quick one. Y'all see it across the banner, rolling across the screen. Everybody knew it was coming.
I don't understand how that brother lasted as long as he did any daggone way,
right,
man.
Right. Everybody knew it was coming. We were talking about the other day, like, how did he last this long? But just like Mitch McConnell, Dr. Fauci, the pride comes before the fall. They real prideful right now. Don't wanna admit. But yeah. So you're reading the headline right. New York Post wrote an article. Did an article.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. One second. Y'all think I ain't watching? I'm watching. I see 16 in the view, but I only see 10 thumbs. We got some professional, unsubscribed subscribers. Y'all know who y'all are.
Watching in the weeds and the bushes.
Watching in the get out them weeds. Go
weeds
ahead and subscribe. And go ahead and hit them thumbs up. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. I'm watching.
Looking over the bushes. I don't want to hit the thumbs up and say nothing. Right. No, I'm in here looking, but let me go ahead.
Yeah, don't make me call you out. You know who you are.
Right. Look. Somebody went from 16 to 15.
Right. Now they went to 14. Hey, don't come back in here.
Look at my eyes.
Dang, he done seen me.
He done seen me. That's somebody look.
Exactly. Come on now.
All right, let's get to so yeah. Dr. Fauci, he was on with Smirkonish. Smirkonish is one of the segments on CNN. And they basically, people been roasting him because he basically said that the mask at large don't work. But I think, we kind of knew that. Like this whole time, we've been saying, like, if you're breathing in CO2 and not letting the, you know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden that he's so-called retired and no longer in the game, it says Fauci admits that masks don't work for the public at large, but still absurdly claims masks work on an individual basis. You just made up a word. You say what'd you say, oxymoron?
Oh no, I made it up.
Well, we're gonna have to make another one up because let me read. Did y'all listen to that? Listen to what this is a doctor.
Yeah. I got that right here. I got that same quote. So we on point.
Fauci admits that masks don't work for the public at large, but still absurdly claims masks work on an individual basis. What you think about that? Make that make sense, man.
He's absolutely right what he's saying. This is one of those times you got to be able to decipher the code, and it was oxymoronious. That's what I said.
Oxymoronious, that's it.
Oxymoronious, right.
That's it.
But you got to be able to decipher the code on this here, man. And, bro, you took my talking points like right away, like boom, you just snatched them from me. But it's good because as people say, that's confirmation, right? I'm not crazy on what it is that I talk. Right. Look, man, my wife got this saying. She say common sense don't grow in everybody's garden. It's not a flower that grow in everybody's garden, and that's facts. Anybody know that if you get in your car in the garage, you turn that car on, close the garage door, that you're gonna pass out and go to sleep and never wake up again. Why? Because you breathing in poisons. You breathing in poisons. Now, when they came to us and said, "Hey, you need to wear a mask. You need to wear a mask." I said to myself, I told you I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm useful if you grab me.
Right. We're gonna make it work.
We're gonna make it work.
Make it work.
So you telling me to walk around and my breath don't even smell right half the time. You know what I'm saying? Is you want me to put a mask on?
Smelling that all day.
All day. You understand what what I'm saying, bro?
Right.
That just don't make no sense. To avoid something that's in the air. Look, this is the air. This is free. This is air. You see what I'm saying? So you telling me to breathe in carbon monoxide all day long to keep from getting sick. You're making yourself sicker. That's what you're doing. Now, this is the code in that quote that he said. He said, Fauci admits the mask don't work for the public. Let's just stop there. The public. That's everybody.
Right.
At large. But still absurdly claim mask works on an individual basis. Let's deal with that. Who are you talking about, Fauci?
Right. Who are you talking about?
Who are you talking about, Fauci? Everybody and their mama know that it's a mark on us, man. And everybody and their mama know that we are some of the most easily persuaded people. We gonna go along with whatever it is that people say.
Whatever it is.
Whatever. There is this matter of fact, run the clip right quick. Run that clip right quick.
Let's go. Let's get it.
I'm gonna put this in a link as well.
Okay. Let's go.
The rise in COVID cases also prompted the reemergence of mask mandates in some places, but people might want to slow down before going that route. A new study reshared by the National Institutes of Health reveals that N95 masks may expose users to dangerous levels of toxic chemicals that have been linked to seizures and even cancer. Now, this study was led by researchers from Jeonbuk National University in South Korea, and it found that some disposable masks contain more than 8 times the U.S. recommended limit of toxic volatile organic compounds, or TVCS. They also noted that the level of toxicity can be decreased by simply letting the mask air out for 30 minutes before use.
More than 8 times the toxic. Golly, boy.
That whole now that's the rising, okay? I want people to pay attention to this because before we went to that video, I was talking about how we are so easily persuaded, right? You got a black chick on there named Bree, and then you got that white dude, right? That white dude fight back everything. He don't agree with nothing. He like, look, if they say do this, I ain't doing that. But the black chick, she like, well, I agree with it. Right. I think that we need to. Right. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's an agenda. The black chick is talking to black people and for black people. Black people looking at this and like, she's absolutely right.
Right.
The white guy's talking to white people.
And they agree with him. They
agreeing with him. So they got it right there. We need you, Bree, to get these people on board so we can continue to kill them. Now, this is the thing with the mask when Fauci was telling us to wear those masks. Those masks got chemicals in them.
Yep.
And we did a show on that. I don't know how many shows back that we did. It's metals and stuff that's inside of those masks that they knew was in these masks. So when they was telling you to wear these masks, this is what they was asking you to breathe in. That's what the white guy was telling you. He didn't even call it compounds on what it was written. He called them chemicals.
Chemicals. He said chemicals. Yep. That's exactly what
that you are breathing in.
Exactly what he said.
So what Fauci is saying, he's saying, look, well, I know that wearing a mask ain't gonna work for the public at large. I don't even want it to work for the public at large, to tell you the truth. But what it's gonna do is it's gonna work on an individual level. It's working. People dropping dead. And you know what's crazy? The only people that I see still walking around 2 years later with masks on, the black folks.
Guess who? And we the only ones that you don't see all across the internet, YouTube, everywhere, that give pushback. Everybody that you see give pushback is white folk. No, I'm not. I don't have to shop here. I ain't wearing it. Us, well, I got to do what they tell, what they say is good for us.
And that's exactly how they sound too.
And I'll be like,
and Dr. Fauci has been known as a liar since the HIV epidemic.
We seen the younger Dr. Fauci on this show in clips tell you. And so now all of a sudden, well, at large it don't really work, but it work on an individual basis. And y'all believe that? You the individual.
If you're black and you're brown, you the individual that it work on. Walking around here with pulmonary diseases and don't even smoke. wondering why you get dizzy every day around the same time because you breathing in your own breath.
Man, CO2. You gotta
wondering why you got a black ring around the top of your nose.
Yep.
Why you got cuts behind your ears.
Crazy, man. I should say, wear the mask so we can stay well, right? So we's can stay well. Gotta make sure we have our mask on, y'all. Player. Yeah, man. I seen that the other day and I was like, wow, you sent it to me and I seen it. I said, boy, here we go.
Yeah.
And we said it a couple months ago. We said, watch right around school start.
Right around when school start.
A lot of rhetoric starting to ramp up again, and here we are. School been in a month or so.
They got schools here in Texas that shut down already.
Yep. They got some HBCUs now that can't have so many attendees in a certain spot because of it and implementing mask mandates. So
I was at a house today, had to fix a washing machine for this family. The mother was there, her son. And I looked over at him. I was like, "Are you in house school today?" She spoke up for him. Yeah, he's sick. He's not feeling well. I said, "Oh, yeah, really?" And I was saying to myself, I bet you she went and took him and got a test. And so I ain't even have to think too long. She said, "We thought he had but we went and got him tested and it came back negative." I said, "This is why these numbers are going up. You got to understand that every time you get sick, you go to the doctor. Look, I'm sick. Okay, I got a runny nose. Okay, I'm not feeling well. I don't need no test. You know what I'm saying? Right. You go get the test. They pick and choose, and you got to remember that those PCP tests, they are inaccurate anyway. I believe they call PCP tests. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong, but it's
give us the correct. You talking about the COVID test?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that test. But it's the same test that they was using to diagnose for HIV too. It's the same thing, man. And so, which means that they can manipulate the numbers. The name of that documentary is called Numbers. You know what I'm saying? So you go in there, all you got is a common cold, and you give them some DNA, and they come back and tell you got the 19. Now the numbers is up. Now hospitalization numbers is up. Now all of a sudden you got to start back wearing a mask. Now all of a sudden stores are closed down. Now all of a sudden we shut up in the house again. Why? Because when you got sick, you decided, hey, I better go get tested to see if I got. What if you got it? What if you do got it? What? They ain't got no pill that's gonna take it away.
Right. You just have to endure it like you always had.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what if you do got it? I'm gonna tell you what work if you got it. NyQuil. There you go.
And rest.
Sit
down. If you're stuck in the house, even if you ain't stuck in the house, sit down somewhere.
Lay
down.
What we got? We got buy sell.
Let's get it. Buy sell.
Views on interracial relationships.
Oh, thank you. And first, I'm Miss Angelo.
Miss Angelo.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you.
So the buy sell on that one is, was she wrong? Was she wrong for addressing a young lady the way that she did and be like, look, I ain't Maya? Shaka Boom say she remember that. Yeah. But she
I buy. She wasn't wrong at all. Cause listen, to me, I ain't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you cool.
I think that's a lot of what's missing these days is like my children, they still get that correction.
Mm-hmm.
If they need be, trust and believe. But a lot of children, a lot of parents think stuff like that is too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we are where we are today, because a lot of children, it's all about making them feel good and comfortable.
That's right.
Our grandparents and parents like that. That young lady felt uncomfortable for a second. Guess what? She probably never did that again to no
That's
other elder.
Exactly what I said.
She probably never
that was a life lesson.
Yes.
To this day.
to this
Wherever
day,
she at.
wherever she at, she ain't called an elder by their first name, man or woman. And that's what we need more of. And that's what Mono was talking about yesterday on the show and in the after party. We were talking about the Israelite family structure, having the family structure out there more in the world, because we have our households like this.
Right.
My children, sometimes, guess what? They get uncomfortable. The Most High, He get us uncomfortable.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if you can stand the pressure.
Right.
Let's turn the heat up
That's
a couple
right.
notches. See
That's
how you
right.
react. So I buy it, man.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
buy it as well, and everything that you said, I concur. You know what I'm saying? I concur with everything. My mama used to say, "Boy, put a handle on that." That's what my mama used to say.
Right.
Put a handle on that. And here I am at 50 years old. I just got to a point where I address my elders by their first name if I know what it is.
Right.
I just got and still, even at times, it still be uncomfortable for me to do it. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's a level of respect to that thing. You dig what I'm saying? Right. It's a level of respect. And so and if they still like 20 years older than me, I'm still putting a handle on it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still putting a handle on it. And I raised my kids the exact same way. My wife was raised in a household where, you know, ma'am and sir was not forced. You dig what I'm saying? But they had to respect their elders, right? But you know, they didn't have to say yes, ma'am, like, you know what I'm saying? And yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Be respectful, but that was but I was raised with the yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. And at 50 years old, I'm still yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? I still got that respect. And I guess my kids took that from me because my kids are the exact same way. You dig what I'm saying? But it's the difference of how we were raised, though.
Right.
Because and that's exactly how she was raised. What she just said, the history behind it.
The yes, ma'am, and yes,
especially
sir.
down here in the South, because if you meet people from the North, like Detroit and Chicago, they don't use that term.
Look at Emmett Till. That's exactly what got him.
Got him exactly
his life taken because he didn't so-called say yes, ma'am. He was from
exactly,
yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. He was like no, or yes, I'll take that, and they got upset. That's
right, exactly. That brother was from Chicago, and his mama told him that the rules are different down there. I don't cry. I'm not a crier whatsoever. That movie brought tears out my eyes. That movie brought tears out my eyes, man.
Ask the family. I the other week we watched it. I made it up until I tapped out. I had to tap out. I was like, man,
I got an hour left in it. I still got an hour left in it because I got sleepy. I started falling asleep on it. And it had nothing to do with the movie itself. The movie was excellent, and I'm gonna finish it out. But man, it brought tears to my eyes. It made me cry. But man, my phone just died. That was a note for me to say, hey, the show is over with.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
It's time to wrap. Did I give us a closing song? Is that it? That's it.
That's it, bro.
That's it. All right then. Hey.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right then. We'll say we'll be back here same time next week. We will be getting in touch with Ron Dalton's camp as well, and hopefully we can get that thing to happen sometime soon. Sister Delta, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate you. We're gonna work something out. The Delta is gonna have a feature on the show once a month as well. We're gonna work something out because she got so much information and we can't talk about it all at once, and the things that's going on. Who could tell it better than the woman who know everything, right? Within the nation. But with that being said, hey, we love y'all. And we'll see y'all at this same place next week unless we get kicked out. And We got a beach house. We do got a beach
got
house.
a beach house. We might be
do
at the
got a
beach house on vacation next week, y'all. Stay tuned.
Exactly.
Don't be picking around the bushes.
Exactly. Hey, they came back too. It went back up to 16. Yeah,
Let's see if they like. Let's see if they liked it. Though.
They did. I looked. They did.
Boy,
they did.
Right. We got LED lights around the house now.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Hey, you have a good one, Knox. Shalom, shalom. We'll see y'all next week.